Morning folks, Andy here and welcome back to the workshop. Got a bit of a job to do here for a pal of mine. He's fetched his door in off one of the Morso stoves and that's broke off the air inlet. As you can see, what's left there, that was joined to, so it's seized up in there. Can't really weld that back on. It's cast iron, you can weld it, but it'll not be successful over that little area there. So we're going to do away with that. I'm going to clean all this out, grind this all back, and then I'm going to put a new threaded flat bar in here, 2 bolts, flat bar across there with a threaded hole in it for the winder to go back in. And I think that's best we can do with it. So you can't successfully weld that back onto there. It'll never hold, you know. It's not gonna work. It'll work for a bit and then it's just gonna come off again. You ain't got big enough area to weld. You've no chance of cast with that, welding that. So we'll just make a new thing to hold the thread, and it's still wound in and out. It will have a bar across here, but nothing we can do about that. There's plenty of air still going to get in there. We'll grind all that back and it should work tickety boo. And first thing I'm going to do with it, strip the glass out. The old fire rope's kaput. Right. These screws work. We may replace them though, because they're here, 4 of them, 4 countersunk. What's them looks like, maybe a 5mm screw or something. So we'll strip it all out to start with, get it all cleaned up and take it from there, because you can't work with things that are in a mess like that. So we'll do a good job on it and get it working. Okay, so we've got those bits out. These stainless bolts, I can't get them to turn. I will put a bit of penetrating fluid on them, see if they will come out, but if not we'll just leave them in. They're in good nick anyway, there's nothing wrong with them. There's actually 2 different sizes there, 5mm and 4mm. They're 5mm, they're 4mm, but there's nothing actually wrong with them. Threads are good and everything, so we'll probably not disturb them. Just wants new fire rope in. I'll get it a bit cleaned out with needle gun and better than that. The thing we want to get on with now is making the bar that's going to carry this lot again. So I'll get this cleaned out and then we'll make the flat bar that'll bolt through here, 2 bolts with threaded in the middle, and then that'll screw in. Don't drop them. But we've also got to get that little bit off, because we're not going to be needing that again. That is just a threaded bar that's threaded into this regulator here. So if we can't get that off, I'll just get a new bit of round bar and a threaded bar and put it in there. It's I think it's 10mm that. And we should have some of that, or cut a bolt off or something. We've got some 10mm bolts. Right there, 10mm bolts. We can just have that out. In fact, it's not even worth trying to get that off. We'll just bin it, put a new threaded bar in. Yeah, no point trying to mess around with that. Just take it off. I'll put it in the vise and take it off. That's it. We can bin that and we'll have a nice new one on. Save any messing around, wasted us time trying to get that old bit of cast off. Right, the glass under there, it has got a broken end, so we'll probably get a new bit of fiberglass. In fact, it has at that end as well. That's where the clamp was on them, that's where they go. You know, that clamp pressing on them, and you're shutting the door to when it starts moving this after a bit and glass settles down, and then you get edges broke. So we'll probably get a new one of them because it's not going to hold in right with that. This has got some type of a, I don't know, compound in there, so we'll have all that cleaned out and brushed up nice and smart. Get a fettle, missus. Right, we can see some numbers in there now. It says 2414 and then a number 10, so that's a 10mm threaded bar that goes in there, so that's probably the 10 probably refers to that, and that must be the part number 2414 for that little copper valve. We'll drop these in some cleaning fluid in the door and we'll get some all the muck off them, but not worried about that at the moment. Put them in overnight when I've done. We'll get that sorted out next. Okay, so we've ground that down now. Next thing, simply to get the bar made to go across here with the threaded hole in the middle. So we're doing that next. Right, that's it, marked off. Centre hole, 2 out holes, 50mm from centre, which will drill through there, bolt through that face. So all we've got to do now is drill them. We either drill it and tap it, or we drill it, a larger hole and weld a nut in. But I think we'll go the drill and tap route. That's it. We've had us bacon butty. We've got a brew. Right, so there the holes drilled out, tapped. And now I've got to cut this strip out. I wanted to use some heavy, thicker section stuff. It's 5mm that. I know it's only carrying that valve, but there's a lot of heat in there, and if you've got thinner steel, there's a good chance of it warping, bending, etc. So that's a good thickness of steel to help to prevent that. I'm not saying it'll stop it totally, but it should about prevent it. But we'll have to see how it performs. All we're going to do now is cut that out. So we'll get that done. Right, so it's back in its correct position, centred over that cutout, and all I've got to do now is mark those holes, drill through the back there, through the door, and bolt it on, and basically that's it. Change of heart here. I'm not using those as tapped holes because if the bolt seizes in there, you can never get this off. The hole goes behind this thing anyway, there's plenty of room there. So I'm going to use nuts and bolts on the inside, and then if they do seize up and get stuck in here, simply put angle grinder on the slitting disc, cut them off. Not that I can see that being needed to be done for a lot of years, but I've just took the bolts, and if you can see I've just basically used the drill, put the shaft in the drill, put it on the grinder wheel, spun it round so it gives it a sort of a curved look. You can do it, you could get rid of all those edges if you want, like the 4 rivets, so the pretend rivets, but they just look a bit nicer than having a bolt head on the outside of it. So we'll put them together. So there we have it, with the 4 rivets on. So they look alright, those, they look nice. I mean, we can put some high temperature paint on, make them black. And there we go. The vent works again. So yeah, you have got that across it, but before that used to come up there. And for what it is, there's plenty of air gets through that. We haven't got a problem with that. So that's it, tightens up. Spotty dog. So we've just repaired that, and other than repairing it like that, you couldn't have welded it. It wouldn't have worked at all. So you just got to fashion a way around it, and that's it. It works. So it wants all the glass putting in. New rope in it, everything yet. So Simon's going to do that now. So I've done with it. It's all works. And it looks like it's meant to be with those 2 pretend rivets on. They don't look out the ordinary, do they? Don't believe this. I just thought, well, you could get replacements for these. So that door, as far as the vent, it was knackered. The door was knackered, you know, you've got an open hole in the door. You can't have your stove like that. So you think, right, we just repaired that. Right, a good working repair. And I just thought, how much are these doors? I thought they'd be 60, 70 quid or something. Do you believe this? You can see that, that's the dealer. £349 for a cast bit of a door. Morso screw 1410 complete door assembly. £349 including that. Somebody's lifting someone's leg there. Right. So we've repaired that. It'll work fine. Right. Works, fully operational. Took me a couple of hours to do that. All it needs now is a bit this cleaning up. I've not got stove rope. Simon's getting the stove rope and everything, and he'll put all that in. So that's as much as I'm doing actually now. We'll get some glass, and then he's got a new door. Instead of £349 saving. That's not bad, is it? And it looks alright with those on. You're going to get plenty of air in there, you know. So, happy with that. I'm sure Simon will be happy. That's the top door off the stove. So, we're paying it £349. Right, folks, we're about a week late after I started this. I was sending it out and Simon we're going to finish it on the boat to put the rope in and the glass etc, but it's he's had to wait for the glass and everything, so he's not been back to the boat, so I've left it here and I'm going to finish it all here, which is better really, because I can now get the needle gun on there and get all the crap out. And then we've got the repair kit in here, which is the glass, the rope, some glue and the little screw fittings that hold it all on. But I shan't use them because there's nothing wrong with the ones that are on. There's no point swapping them. Then in the future there is a spare set of screws for them and nuts and toggle things and that. So I'm just going to clean this out now with the air gun. And it's a needle gun, so it'll get all the old, well, the debris that's left and burnt on, and that's bits of rope and glue and timber spur, whatever's been burnt. So we'll just give that a clean round. That's the next job. Okay, there seems to be a difference in these. We have in this service kit 4 screws, Allen head little screws. They're all 5mm. They are nowhere long enough to have ever worked on here. They must have changed the design or something, because that's a 5mm screw, right, which is what this has come off with, and that's a 4mm screw. I knew that was the case, which is very weird, isn't it? Why would you have 5mm and 4mm? Why would you not just have 2 5mm? But the hole for that is only for a 4mm screw, so that's how it was done to start with. So these are all useless because they're nowhere near long enough anyway. So beware of that. If somebody's swapping one of these, you'll have to get 4 stainless screws. Let's have a look what I've got in here, because then those washers are no good really. They're too baggy. The old washers. I should have got some. They're 5s, they're 4s, I think. Yeah. So let's ditch those and put the proper ones on. That's it, that's better job now. That's it then. They're all no good. They would never refurbish this door because of the wrong size. So you have to be careful of that if you're getting a kit for these. I mean, luckily these are the actual screws were fine. But if you get this kit and your screws aren't fine, then they're no good to you. So they've obviously changed the design somewhere along the line for them. But I happen to have this kit of screws here, the stainless steel, which they are. That's all stainless, right? And that kit I've got would have the correct screws in to change all this. And I think you probably pay like £20 for a set of them or something like that. Whereas these would probably charge you £20 for 4 screws, something stupid. So there are 4 spare toggle things or whatever you call them. So that's it in. And the glass that was originally in was slightly smaller than this, so it was never the correct glass. And these were barely on the edges, and these ones had actually cracked the edges off because they didn't go on enough. So that's why we had to get the new glass instead of just cleaning it up. Couldn't be done. So there we are, we've got a functioning valve. That door's upside down, the door goes that way. Actually, that's the top of the fire. So it's now got a functioning valve. They don't look too bad, those, do they? And then we've got the glass all done, which isn't a very hard job. Just putting that on. You've just got to make sure you clean all the debris off. That's from the old glue and whatever, because it's the cement that you're putting in. It will set hard. But what I'm going to do with this is, over there I've got my workshop stove, wood burner, is I'm going to sit that on there because it needs heat to set the cement. So that can sit on there for a couple of days now, and it'll set it all off. So that's it, we've refurbed it. We've saved a fair bit of money there. You know, a ridiculous amount of money for a bit of a cast door that they charge. So jobs are good, and anyway, that's it. That's it for this one anyway. So thanks again everybody for watching and liking and subscribing. Please leave comments if you have any on it. Tell me if I'm crap or good. I'm in between anyway. See y'all. Ta-ra.